Hey YouTube. Today I'm doing a little vid on one of my favorite everyday carry items. I was up north shooting with my buddy a couple months ago and his dad had one of these. I was checking it out and my buddy decided to pick one up for me. He was offering to buy gas for the ride we had out to his dad's place and back to do our shooting. I told him there's no need to pay. I was happy to come on out. So instead he decided to buy me one of these as a gift in exchange. It's a Leatherman Squirt PS4. This thing is awesome. I carry it every day. It's in my pocket. Squirt PS4. It stands for pliers and scissors, and I'm not sure what the 4 is for. It's a very nice, handy plier on it. Still has your standard Leatherman wire cutters, although there's a little left to right wobble in this one. Not much. It's hard to do one-handed here, but the cutters still work great. You know, stuff like coat hanger and stuff can still be cut like that. I use the larger ones generally for that, but if this is all you have, it'll work. It's spring-loaded, as you see, just like the Micro series. The teeth on it are fine. Pliers meet up perfectly, especially if you're going to grip something small. See how then they land flat? Leatherman does that on purpose. It has what feels like an aluminum handle on it, but I'm really not certain if that is just some type of plastic. You know what? It's plastic. It's just a plastic handle over steel liners. It has your standard lanyard connection on there that came with the small split ring. I threw this reflective cord lanyard on here that I tied up so it'd be easier to get out of my pocket. I keep it in my watch pocket when it's folded up because I just find it easier to get to without it getting scratched up or scratching up other things in my larger pockets. And it fits in there perfectly. The lanyard sticks out just about that much, just enough to grab, and if I drop it, I have the tape to help me out. No tools are on the inside, not even a single one. It's not like a larger Leatherman. Everything is accessible from the outside except for the pliers. I like that a lot. I use this thing a ton. I used it through the holidays a ton, opening packages and gifts for the family. I didn't want to break out the real blades and scare them all. I mean, I've never carried an extra piece. I've sometimes carried 2 knives, maybe even 3 knives, but I generally, for the last year or so, well, longer than that, but for the last 6-8 months, I just take the Sebenza Insingo and thrash it. And for a few months now, I had this in my pocket as well. I guess it saved the Insingo some abuse, but it still looks thrashed. I'm going to do a video on that because one of the people that watched it, my vid on the Insingo, requested it. But your standard small Phillips, and the way they cut it, it can get up to like a number 2 Phillips pretty well, and down to the pretty tiny stuff. Standard flathead with a bottle opener, just all miniaturized. And on the same side as that, very functional scissors that are even comfortable to use with a little bend and a fatter pad on them. Things are razor sharp and work great. I use them a ton, even cutting zip ties and stuff, and they haven't lost a beat. The other thing they have on the other side, you know, if you're cutting your nails with this thing like I do a lot, a file. And it has the steel and wood file to it. Works pretty good. This edge is a file also. And then, of course, last but not least, it has a decent blade. It's chisel ground, which is the one thing I really don't care for. I touched up this edge a little on a ceramic rod, but it was razor sharp when I got it. And it's enough blade to do a lot of stuff. Spring's pretty good to keep it from coming down on you, but you got to be careful, especially if you're used to a locking knife with a blade this small. But there's just enough here that isn't sharpened that you can kind of feel it coming if you hold it properly. But if you're back here and it goes, it's going to get you for sure. Nail nicks to get that in the file out. Nail nicks to get everything out of there, actually. The thing's just very well made. It's taken a ton of abuse. Very easy to use. Fits in the pocket good. It's small enough and light enough that you'll actually take it with you. and I found it to be a very, very useful item in my everyday carry. So if you guys are looking into these, I highly recommend it. They came in some other colors. My buddy picked up blue. I wanted the black, and I'm not sure. I think there was a lighter color other than that. You see it has a bevel here, like a half moon. This is thicker, and then it slopes down equally on both sides. That's because on one side it is fatter than the other. Very, very negligible amount, but they do that in the scales to make it flow evenly and so that they're at the same height when they meet here. Really a lot of thought into the design of these. It'd be nice if it had screws here so you could tighten it up over time as it loosened up. Mine hasn't loosened up yet, and I've pried with the small screwdrivers a little bit, so the rivets are pretty strong. Would it be nice if it had them just so you could keep them tuned up a little bit, or oiled up if you wanted to, better in the seams? But honestly, it doesn't really need it, and for 25 bucks, if you destroy it, I guess you just go get a new one. So that's that. I hope you guys enjoyed the vid. This thing's really handy. You should look into getting one, and this variant here has just been exceptionally useful for me. Hope you guys like the vid. Take it easy and stay safe.